Hope it gets better for you. So, welcome to another live Q&A. What we do on these Fridays. Oh, hello. There we go. Some light set up here for you guys. But what we do here is answer questions that you may have for aquarium keeping, freshwater. You know, there's lots of ways to do it. So that's why I'm here with the awesome community to help you out in it. Let me go ahead and get in the live chat. But hello, everybody in the chat there. Glad to see you guys all with us. And before everybody starts rolling in here and the questions get rolling, or until you guys ask me questions, you guys know I will ramble on. But if you guys have not noticed, there's been a lot of content out lately, tons of content. And I've got an awesome video for you guys tomorrow where we're going to tear down. Well, we've been working on tearing down the pond, and we will end up getting all the plants and fish out of there. And I did all kinds of other things, and I take you along with that journey, so you get to see these fish as I caught them. Some I had to night fish, and these plants were absolutely beautiful in there. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. I was actually up until 5 o'clock in the morning trying to grind that out because I got club meeting tomorrow, which will be awesome to see all my club friends in Pasco. But grinded that out, got that done for you. And then on top of that, there's been a special event. So we're going to be keeping the fish content coming and rolling because now things are built in the fish room. I can focus more on content, which a lot of you guys have been wanting. And now I'm finally able to get that out for you guys. And tons of it planned up. I knocked out, I don't know how many shorts just the other day. It feels good. There's lots of things breeding in the fish room. I actually got a fun little paint check spawn burr guide to community breed, which was really neat and unusual. And I'll be trying to video all that, but I've got tons to catch you guys up with, and hopefully I can do that sooner than later because I need to have you guys more in real time too, because it makes it easier for just everybody. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're pumping it out. Been working hard for you guys, so I hope you guys appreciate it. And if you guys haven't seen the big announcement, I shared it a couple of times. I know it's not the cup of tea for some people, and I'm sorry, but we will have fish content too, but we thought we'd spice it up, add a little flavor. And big deal. Like, I'm fighting the king of DIY. Like, we're boxing, going toe to toe in New York on a sanctioned fight. Like, this goes down into the records. There's a belt to win and everything. Like, we're going to dress up. We'll have walkout things. It's all going to be pay-per-view. It's going to be quite the spectacle and quite the event. And, you know, it could have been anybody. Not just, actually, it couldn't have just been anybody that fought the king of DIY. It's really weird. Let me just say this, that I'm the guy for that job. This is where I was put. Why I was put here, I don't know. But God be looking out some way or another. And it should be really interesting. So I know even if you guys aren't into boxing, I think it's still going to be a show, even if you're not even into the sport. Like, if you're into these creators, you like what we do, you know, I think it's going to be fun for a lot of people. Let me just say that. But I'm excited about it. But what we're really here is to answer your guys' fish questions. And I try to keep that stuff separate so I don't muddle it. And, you know, whenever I do, like, the pregame live I did today earlier, like, people could have asked me fish questions. I don't mind, you know. You guys know me. If you guys that have been around and you guys coming in that are new, I'm not much for, like, just doing things, like, straight. As far as, like, staying in the lines, going by the rules. So, like, you guys know I'm a free spirit. Now on Fins and Fury, like, I'm definitely going to be legit and clean on that because, you know, I don't want to win in a crummy way. That's terrible. But yeah, I don't know. You guys don't have questions. I know some of you guys aren't happy about it. I've lost quite a few subs since I announced this, which is, you know, it kind of sucks to see you guys go, but like, what am I to do? I'm not, this is something I want to do. I think it's really good for the hobby. I think people will enjoy it. And yeah, there's a lot of people excited about it. So I'm sorry if I offend you, but I probably, like, throughout my career, I probably lost as many subs as I have gained. I think it's just due to, like, maybe I'm abrasive. I don't know. People think I'm very, like, the fun loving nice guy, which I am, but I don't get how I lose so many subs sometimes. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if I'm doing something, like, tell me, guys. Tell me, like, that's the thing, is when you lose subs too, they never tell you on their way out. That would be such vital information to have. You never get it. But I really don't care, because this is what I'm going to do. Like, this is what I love to do. So this is where I'm at. So I appreciate all you guys in here. Let me just say that. And I see you guys in here. I may not call all you guys by name, but when I scroll down, like, I see all your guys' names. Mike says, I want to put a rimless cube outside for the summer. Is it going to be a problem to get the underneath mat wet when it rains? Now the sun and the wetness and the dexterity of it over time, the sun would definitely eat it up and break it down. So you would have to worry about that. Honestly, I know rimless it is kind of better to do that because you don't have a frame to support it. And you can't just lay it on the ground as easily as a rim tank. But I don't know what other options you have besides maybe housing insulation. I think the exterior housing insulation, like that pink foam stuff, you can get it like pretty thin too. It's not that costly considering you can get a huge 4x8 sheet of it. So I think that would be a good option. I don't know what your mat's made of, but if you don't think it will handle the weather, maybe that's a good alternative. Because I've used that outside and had a lot of success with it. And also be careful with your cube, because the cube tanks on the rimless ones, if the water level's too high and it like overflows, like, it's really easy for your fish to slip out. And that's the last thing you want. Marty Cruz says, cheers, LRB. Cheers to you back. Says, would you feed new fish right away if they've been in transit for 2 days? You know, actually, usually I do not feed the fish on the first day. Usually it takes a fish a day to get comfortable. So I never feed a fish on the first day. I've tried so many times, and every time I try to feed the fish on the first day, they don't eat it. They ignore it. And they don't ever go back to it. But by the second day, and they've been in that space for a long enough time, they'll be like, all right, the nerves have calmed down, they've settled down, and then they'll feel like eating again. I think that's what a lot of it is when we get new fish, is taking the time to just let them settle. Like, imagine if somebody caught you up and then threw you in a whole nother place, which is kind of messed up to think about anyways. But as far as fish keeping, if we didn't do fish keeping, a lot of fish would be in trouble with just even existing. So there's a lot of big, huge reasons why fish keeping is important. I'm not going to jump into that. But you'd be freaked out. You would be scared. And you wouldn't really know your surroundings. And with fish, they've got like these natural instincts for predators. And like, oh, there might be predators in the water. But they also sense vibration. So if they that's why you see fish hunker down when you catch them, is they'll hunker real still, because they'll try to feel the vibration of anything else that may be in the water. And they can sense off those vibrations what may be in the water, so if they should be scared, if not. So if they can calm their nerves and calm down enough to feel that there's no like negative vibrations, the fish can actually feel more comfortable the next day. Actually, kind of just put all that together right now just by talking to you guys. So not only does these help like you guys, this also helps me by learning too, because you guys pull things out of me that I don't often like think about as I'm going through things. And what I've been doing around here naturally, and the way that I've been doing things, I've been learning more about like the no filters outdoors, because I got to catch you guys up with what's going on back there, because there's some really cool stuff. And just stay tuned for all that, because like I mentioned, we're just getting started. I had to build back for like years, and I knew it was something I had to do, but like we're finally into that stage now. Like we're gonna have fun, and I'm so excited for the future here. Dean Stevenson says 35-gallon tank supposed to be a food web tank, but the snails are taking over, out competing the shrimp, blackworms, and ostracods. What should I do? So, I mean, I would say try to deplete the snail population. Um, Maybe put them elsewhere. That would be the best option, because obviously there's an imbalance. You just have to sometimes balance it. And nature's wild, you know? You watch fish, like, and you watch nature, like outdoor ponds and snails and just how all that operates. It's wild. It's a fish world out there. Vincent, 2 months, gold member, says, I want to know what you put in your water. Oh my God, I have so much guppy grass and so many endlers now. Amazing. Have to set up a new tank tomorrow. Well, that is awesome to hear, Vincent. Glad you're having a lot of results and a good time. And you know, that's all I can hope for, is like if I can help people keep aquariums better and just learn to just let nature do its thing, it makes it so much easier. So much easier. But most people must think I'm full of it. Those who know, I guess. But I've had a lot of channels try to talk narratives against what I do for a long time, and I think that affected a lot. And that's because I got tired of fighting the narratives. When I was going against the grain of like the commercialism of it all, like all the commercialized channels were like, whoa, you can only do it this way, or he's only doing it because he does it this way, or because what he knows, and this, that, and the other. And you know, I got so tired of fighting that, because it's a lot of negative energy. It wasn't worth my time while I'm trying to rebuild this huge empire to share with you guys and learn new things. And you guys know money doesn't drive me. It's the whole experience, it's the whole learning and just enjoying the hobby, like somebody who just got into it, you know? Like I'm doing things that I wanted to do before I was even on YouTube, where like I've always wanted to keep these kind of fish and breed these out and do it like this and that. And to be able to finally do that and share that kind of stuff, you know, it's fun, it's exciting. And I don't know, I'm just glad to be here. Carrie Brent says, just had to pop in and say what's up. I'll have to catch you tomorrow. Stay grinding, my brother. Well, right on, Carrie. You know, I'll be reading them question marks. Stand for Outside and Aquatic says, stand for something or fall for anything. Man, if you don't have some haters, are you really doing anything? It's true. It's true. You know, like, it's so funny you say that, because I was just telling Lady LRB this. A lot of my videos had like 100%, like, rarely would it go under 99% like ratio. And now I'm getting like 95s. I got some 80s. I'm like, wow. People are quick to turn, but I don't know. Whatever. But you're right. I guess. I don't know why they're hating. I mean, they're really wasting their time. Doesn't no good on me. Night Owl Aquatics. Thank you for your support for a long time. 7 months. Gold member says Lucky 7. Hello, y'all. 7 is good. 7 is good. Stan Pittman said hit Petco today. 2 40-gallon breeder tanks, 23 and counting. Nice, Stan. Nice. Definitely got the MTS over there. And if you guys didn't know, Petco sale is going on. I'm hoping to pick up 2 75s here soon. Oh, well, probably tomorrow when I go to the club meeting, since anything around me is like an hour drive. Gotta get it where I can. Wesley Green says, advice on breeding flagfish. So I have, every time I bred flagfish was accidentally communal in like a planet aquarium. Matter of fact, they had a baby in that pond, which you guys will see in tomorrow's video. I pulled them and the parents out. And then they did it again in the tub before that. So those were the only times I actually got them to breed. I think if you were to like target breed them with spawning mops, like have the male in one tank and the female in another tank, feed them real good, maybe give them some mosquito larvae, especially if you can, and or Daphnia, some kind of live food or meaty food for them. They would absolutely love that for conditioning, and then put them in a tank with a spawning mop, and you might be able to collect eggs better that way. But the only time I've ever got them to really breed is by just them trickle spawning out like some random out of the community. But they can, like, if given the space and structures, you can definitely community breed them. King Turner 01 says, can I put shrimp with Danios, Tetras, Dwarf Gouramis, Angels, Yo-Yo Loaches, Angels, Placos? It's a community tank. If it's like a Caridina, Neocaridina shrimp, no, I wouldn't. If it's like one of the bigger bamboo shrimp, maybe. The Angels are kind of like pecky. They would be the ones I would worry about the most. But it sounds like a risk. Technically, you can keep them if you do it right too, though. Because I have had hundreds of, like, actually probably like 1,000 orange shrimp living in this huge 180-gallon bow front sump tank. It had like 200 some fish in it, lace cats like that big, rainbow fish like that big. Like the lace cats were chunky. Yeah, but the shrimp managed to make a network through all the rocks and the Nubius and created a whole metropolis and lived as normally with the fish. Like they're kind of like a bunch of ants. Actually, shrimp remind me a lot about ants, just underwater. Terry Cunningham says, do you fast your fish like 1 day a week? Every once in a while, I will kind of fast them, but not very often, because most of my like fish, they're either breeding or like they'll community breed, or I've got like just a ton of babies in a tank. Also, that's another thing that you guys really haven't seen yet. Like, I know a lot of you guys have said like, oh, he's got a bunch of tanks, but they're not all full of fish. Well, now that I am breeding fish and focusing on that stuff, there is a lot more of that. So it's harder for me to fast those kind of tanks. But every once in a while, I'll be like, I could kind of feel it, like, or sense it when I do kind of need to fast them. If we ever go to like any events, then sometimes I go fasting. There's enough live foods, like as far as like if they really had to eat, they got hungry enough, they could eat some vegetative greens or stuff. They go insane. It's like you throw a fish a cheeseburger, or that's an instant. Like the cheeseburger tastes better than like a rice patty or just some guppy grass. So they always eat the like processed food first or wait for it. But if you do like let them chill out, like they'll clean up your tanks if you don't feed them for a while. Just be careful. Like you don't want to starve your fish either. Like I would never want to starve like that. But natural, no filter, there's a lot of food web in it. Crystal C says, another fish enthusiast says, one of my glowfish tetras has eye fluke. What would you recommend treatment for bacterial infection? So the bacterial infection would be the secondary infection of the fluke. I don't know if you got the flukes taken care of, but I would try to take care of them. Now, when it comes to flukes and or bacterial infections, I use a combo from Ruby Reef called Rally, and that's for the secondary infection. And then the other is Kikik, which it also takes care of ick or flukes because they're all kind of similar. And shrimp safe, real safe for your environment, doesn't mess your water up. Now the Rally for the secondary infection stuff can cause your water to turn green, but the Kikik stuff doesn't. Now I don't use that stuff for ick though anymore because you can use temperature control to actually kill ick and get rid of it. I think that's the best way to get rid of ick. And the only reason why I say that is because the Ruby Reef Kikik stuff's kind of expensive. And if you could do it for free, if you got a heater or something, you know, plus you should probably at least have a heater. Although I don't use heaters, I have heaters around here and there. Just for like certain scenarios as such. But I haven't had to deal with ick. I don't think I've dealt with ick once being here. Have I, Sarah? I don't think I've ever dealt with ick here at the new place. Can you believe that? 2 years. Tons of fish I've collected. Zero ick. I'm telling you, it's those fish bass. People think I'm freaking crazy, but whatever. Proof's in the pudding. I don't know. I guess I got to do better at communicating to you guys how awesome what I do is. Yeah, I got to sensationalize myself. I need hype trains. You guys got to be my hype men, you know. I need your guys' help too. This is a community thing, you know. I can only make as many posts as I can. But like you guys sharing stuff definitely helps. Like, oh, I heard this from LRB. Share it, you know. Get them talking. Send them my way. If they don't agree or whatever, they want to talk about it, bring them my way. We'll talk about it. I'll be glad to talk about it. I love that kind of stuff. Brayton Lightcap says, what's in your opinion is the average time to raise mollies from fry to juvenile? I would say usually about 3-4 months. I mean, when they come out as fry, they're pretty big as they are. And that actually depends too, like how much are you feeding, how natural is their environment. If they got things to graze on throughout the day, they're going to grow faster than if they're only relying on what you feed them. And then if you change the water, they'll grow faster too. Sunlight, they'll grow faster. I've learned anything you throw outside grows faster. At least in this Florida sun. The Florida sun be good. It'll be real good. Angel M says, "Where can I watch the PPV?" So the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view you can get on the Fins and Fury website. Now it will ask for the tickets and the pay-per-view on the front page, but if you go to the fighters page and you go to your fighter, hit the bio, there'll be a link that actually supports my channel on that. So if you buy the tickets through my link, then that will help support me and what I do, and hopefully. Who knows? Like if we can make this big enough, like I may be able to get some more pond liners. Or I may be even starting work on a barn. Who knows? It depends on how big it goes. Or maybe I'll just break even to what all I've thrown into it. But either way, I'm coming home with that belt. But yeah, Angel M, I hope you do watch it, and I appreciate the support if you buy it. But I would like it's going to be hard to like it. If I was on the other end of this, I would definitely want to be watching this. If I was into like the fish fam, the aquarium community, YouTube, and all that stuff, just watching this, you know, the people who signed into this, like, they've got balls. And it takes a lot of character to do this, you know? It takes a lot of strength, courage, a lot of things to be able to do such a thing. And to watch what you don't know what's gonna happen, I love that kind of stuff because it's one of those things you just don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my god. That message you deleted, your local Jack. That was kind of funny though. I won't lie. That was kind of funny. Let's see. Choose scroll. Nathaniel Ash says, I'm going on vacation. What do you think of the 7-day fish feeder pellet? Will the fish eat it? I have no clue. I've never even tried that stuff. Be honest, I couldn't tell you one way or the other. Maybe they have a certain way that the like food breaks down over time where they like gel it or something. I don't know how healthy any of that is. But I would say it sounds like what it does is it leaves a food source for your fish for while you're gone. And they can just pick on it and peck on it, which would be like sticking maybe a cucumber in there or something more organic. But maybe since it's produced, it probably doesn't break down as fast. I don't know. I guess you're gonna have to find or try it and tell us about it next Friday. Tell you, yeah, let us know. So if you do try that out and you do find me again, come back on here. Like, let me know. I'll be kind of interested. Because for like shrimp and stuff, maybe that would be really good. I've never actually heard about it. Because I don't really have to go looking for a lot of products because I don't use a lot of products and like I keep it simple. I keep it basic. Why make it harder for myself? I know what my fish like. But something like that, that could be I'm definitely utilitarian. And I've only got 20% on this battery. So this is actually my third live stream of the day. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it an hour. I tried to charge this phone as fast as I could, but I'm about due for a new phone. You know, after a while, after your phone gets so old, the battery's not as great. I'm at that point in life. Constellations says, I want to own a fish, but my parents say no. What should I do, sir? Well, I don't know your parents, and I don't know your situation. So on how to play it could be really tricky. But in my opinion, it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So if you're like, oh, I got this fish, I got this tank, my buddy just wanted me to take care of it just for a while. And then if you do good at it and you show them you do good at it, then maybe they'll be like, okay, well, yeah, you can keep it. Maybe start small so it's not so intrusive in their space. But I don't know your situation. But if there's a will, there's a way. And if you can inspire your parents to see that you're inspired about it, I think that goes longer than anything. Because any good parents, if they see their child being inspired by something like a fish tank or just a hobby, something that they enjoy, and they understand that, then I don't think it would be too big of an issue. And maybe even if you start with something outside, if their biggest qualm is maybe having it inside and they're worried about this, that, and the other, maybe learn about their worries. Then you guys can talk it through. And I mean, communication is key. Communication is key. And I know that may be a lot saying to a kid or really even to some adults, but it truly is key. And that will help you more than anything. And you're not too young to understand it. Ashog23 says, I want to get some chili reservoirs for my 10-gallon, but they aren't sold at any store near me. Do you have any recommendation online stores to buy from? So I go to Wet Spot Tropicals tend to if I were to go for something like that. And or like I'm a club guy. I love the clubs because the clubs you can actually go and get well, I mean it's not always guaranteed you're gonna get chili reservoirs, but they're a good place to find some good like new genetics for something. Because it is good to kind of have like two different places. I'm sure there's other places now that sell fish, but I don't know a whole lot about them. I get most of my fish from clubs these days. That and I know some of these guys turn and burn. I know how the industry works with a lot of these guys, but I'm not going to say too much because they still help too. I wouldn't even have my fish if it wasn't for them. La 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 la. Do do do. All right. Scrolling, not seeing any questions there. I see the king has entered the chat. Good to have the king of DIY here. Meet his maker. Branton Lightcap says, so Boss Aquatics isn't fighting anymore. I don't know. King of DIY would be the one to ask for that. Deanna White says, setting up a new tank, was thinking about putting it in front of a window. Good or not so good? Any idea? Deep substrate, lots of plants, one to try without artificial light. So if you want to go with that ambient natural tank where you're like no tech, low tech, the best thing to do is put it on like a northern wall or a southern wall. Northern wall will probably be your best. Just thinking about like whatever window you put it by, how much sunlight that gets, because sunlight really amplifies algae growth. Now having a deeper substrate and more plants, you can better off balance that algae growing. But if it gets like a lot of light, you don't want it in that spot. But if it's like say 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of sunlight, not so bad. Now, if you do put it on the north wall, you may not get any direct sunlight on it either. And it's kind of nice when the direct sunlight hits it every once in a while, so you can like look into it, appreciate it. The only thing with like no light is, and it really depends on the fish too. Some fish just absolutely pop with no lights. Guppies, for instance, like you keep guppies with no lights, they pop like crazy compared to with the light on. But I think the fish choice will play a lot of role as far as like keeping a window tank. And a lot of, yeah, it just has to do with the lighting in the window. And you can grow up and out of it. There's so many ways to do it. Make it like a little pond. King of DIY, thank you for your $2 your loonies. Is that what they call them? Loonies? Flips a toonie at Lucas. Yeah, toonie. So that's 2 loonies. See you in August, kid. Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate you, King. Thanks so much for that. But yeah, I'll definitely see you in August too. But it is really hard because honestly, like it would be so much easier if I was fighting somebody that like I didn't respect. But it's still, I mean, I'm gonna do what I have to do. But I do, I've got to say this. Like I respect Joey out of any other creators more than all the rest for many reasons. And I'm not going to go into them all because, there's a whole different side to this, like behind the scenes and stuff as far as like how creators operate and whatnot. But like, I know not everybody is a fan of them. So if you did want to see me knock him out and see him get knocked out, like this is your chance. So, I mean, it works either way for you guys. All you guys will win either way. So let me just say, it's going to be good. Gonna be good. Oh, and if you guys didn't see the live too, you guys just jumping in on the Fence and Fury channel, like that live isn't one to miss. If you guys are interested in all this and how it's gonna go down, go to the Fence and Fury YouTube channel and go check out that live. Vincent, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, here's some real money, no loonies, please. Yeah, that good old American money. God, if you guys actually knew what direction the U.S. dollar was heading towards right now, like, it ain't been pretty. Let me just say that. This is about fish, not all about economics and the world economy. Even though I could get into all that too. Indiana, come on. Angel M says, do you know what channel the pay-per-view is going to be on? So it's actually through Vimeo. So you'll be watching through Vimeo. It's not going to actually be channeled out. So like the pay-per-view event, that is watching the whole full event. Like there's going to be camera crews, all that. It's going to be like not just some guy holding the camera trying to like, oh, can I get the shot? Can I get the shot? No, it's like a legit pay-per-view. It's wild. It's wild. It's going to be cool. It's really going to be something. Like, doesn't matter how many people watch it. Like, it's going to be a show regardless. 101 100 says, what's your favorite Carolina shrimp? Well, right now is the tigers, like the yellow King Kongs, the orange eye blue tigers, tangerine tigers. I do got these Galaxy Pintos doing really well. But I like those because they're doing really well. Like, I got the bees and stuff. I love the bees. Like, the classic red and white Carolina bee shrimp is just, it'll always be beautiful. Always be beautiful. I actually used to have ones that had like a smiley face on their head. If you dig deep enough in the rabbit holes, you may be able to find some shrimp like that still. But God, I wish I had some. And I wish they bred like crazy for me. The Carolinas really love their water changes. So, I mean, they don't do as great for me. Like, they live, they just don't breed as much. I don't know if that's because my water changes or diet, or they just, like, my water parameter isn't quite there. Because I don't always test my water parameter. They still molt, they still live. I've had them forever. But, like, my tangerine tigers and my yellow King Kongs, like, they're, like the others have bred. They bred a little, but the other ones are just, like, freaking exploding. Absolutely exploding. Wandering Spirit says, I've shipped shrimp in breather bags, but I have some plecos and other fish that I'd like to ship, but I'm not sure how to do so safely. Any advice? So you can ship plecos in a breather bag. If you told me the other type of fish, would be easier to let you know if they'll be all right. There's not a whole lot of fish that I've found that are troublesome with the breather bags, as long as they don't have something to poke, like a hole in there. Yeah, but it's hard. Like, I just shipped a Chilnothernia Pagai Village that big this week. And that, so they got to be a real rough, tough rainbow. Hunter Ellis says, is aqua soil overrated? Clouds my tank if I move anything. So just move stuff slowly. When you move stuff, that'll help you out. Because if you go just like yanking and throwing it around everywhere, then it will make your stuff a lot cloudier quicker. And with a filter, it'll be so hard to clean up that cloudiness. So I recommend, if you're gonna move things in your tank and you do have like a dirted tank or aqua soil and you do have a filter, to actually turn your filter off, move your stuff around, and then give it like a few hours to settle down. You would be surprised how much giving that tank a few hours of settling down will do for the clarity of that water, and then turn on your filter, and then you'll be in a much better space. But as far as like the potency and how well aqua soil can grow plants, it's not overrated. It's really good for that stuff. It does make a difference. Like I could grow a lot in sand, but I could grow stuff like super fast, like on steroids with that aqua soil. But it still only lasts so long like that. Excuse me. Well, Deanna White says, thanks, Lucas. Would be a southern window, but not direct. Has indirect light, overhang on the roof. Yeah, you'll be good. I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. I say, go for it. Do it. Crystal C says, thanks. I have a heater. Crank it up to 84. Is that for the flukes? Now, I don't know if that works with flukes, but maybe. Maybe. I've never actually tried it. Let's see. Power scrolling here. Branton Lightcap, best DIY shrimp trap. Classic water bottle trap. You know what I do is I just put some bottom sinking food into one corner of the tank. Like you can wait a day or two to feed them, and it works even better. But just put that bottom feeding food down there, and then they all come towards that. And you can already have the net there in place, ready to scoop them up. It only takes them a few hours to sniff that food out and then go straight for it and then just scoop them up. Super easy. I do it all the time when I do shipments. I catch like hundreds of shrimp. Noel's Fishing More says, how do I get my pH down? Best way to get your pH down is using some tannins and or cutting it with like RO or distilled water. It's the best way to soften your water, which mostly lowers your TDS, which makes it harder for hydrogen molecules to suspend in the water. That's what will raise your lower pH. Wonder and Spirit says, what would you say is the best advantage to using potting soil as substrate? And what would you say is the biggest drawback? So I've never actually used potting soil in my life as substrate, because I don't even trust half that potting soil myself. I'd rather just grab it out of the yard. So I honestly can't tell you. I think that's like a Dustin's fish tank question. The biggest drawback is just not knowing what they put in that potting soil. So I guess if you're getting something organic, and there's probably a lot of people in the chat that has used it. I know a lot of people that have used like potting soil. You just got to watch what you get. And I don't know what to recommend you because I don't ever use it. But maybe somebody in the chat can recommend it to you. But I would say the best advantage to it is it's a soft material for your plants to grow into, very natural, more natural material for them to root and bed in. Because you just got to think about it as it's just a media for the roots. Most of these aquarium plants, I can grow them without substrate. Like they will grow regardless of any sand, soil, whatever. It's just you need that media to anchor them down. Outside in Aquatic says, I asked about this earlier. Not sure if you answered. Do you know if they are discontinuing tetracolored tropical granules? They are completely out of stock in Petco. I don't know. That would be a sad day, though. I don't know what I would do. I worry about that sometimes. Like, oh, what happens if they do this? Then I guess I would have to be in the market. But hopefully we don't have that problem. Barbed Wire says, would a blue glarus be a good tank mate with juvenile angelfish? 90-gallon tank. 90 gallons pretty big. Definitely gonna need a lid. If you don't have a lid, I would not do it. And if that lid has any spots where they can jump out of, forget about it. But I think they would be all right. I think they would hold their own. I would definitely watch for any aggression. And if not, like if they don't get along, then maybe try breeding those blue galars. Get a couple tanks, 10-gallon tanks. Google or YouTube search LRB blue galaris breeding. I'll teach you exactly how to do it. Madrigas 4468 says, do you have any experience with jewel cichlids? I haven't kept them. I've always thought about keeping them. Like, they're pretty chill fish. I mean, they seem like they would be super easy to breed. Like, you get a 40-gallon, maybe a 30-gallon, the smallest. 55-gallon would be real good. But they'll kind of take their space. They'll make their bed. They'll lay their eggs. They tend to be really good parents. And the males get super colorful. And I don't think they're very aggressive either, from what I hear. But I personally don't know. From like keeping them long term. Darb Wire says, how many blue galars would you put in there? I mean, you probably get away with a few pairs. You probably get away with a few pairs. Depends on the angel ratio, too. Like the space, the plants. Like, do they got top coverage, or are they just gonna they got things to interact with through in the tank? Or do they only have themselves and the angelfish to focus on? I think that's another big thing why it's real good to put plants and make more natural aquariums is the fact that like there's other things for your fish to interact with that um like a sterile tank where they've only got the fish to focus on. I think that's where a lot of fish violence comes from is when the fish has nothing else to focus on but that, where they'll beat each other up. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I am at the bottom of the chat. I caught up with y'all. Kind of a slow night. Kind of a slow night, but summer's here. Lots to enjoy out there. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me here. We got a 10% battery left, so if I die, I didn't really die. It was just my phone. But yeah, I don't know. If there's no questions here left, I think I'm gonna hop off here. It was great hanging out with you guys. I appreciate y'all. Glad I could help you, and see you on the next one. Stay tuned, tomorrow's video, all that. And if you haven't seen any of the shorts and all the other content I have put out recently, you're really missing out because I've been doing a lot of unique things that other people aren't doing on YouTube. And I hope it teaches you a lot. It makes it more enjoyable for you with this aquarium adventure you guys may be going on. So thank you for joining me on my adventures. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Have a great one. Dun, 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 dun.